damn it. Alright, I'm back on. I hope you guys can see me alright. I'm so sick of this stuff happening all the time. Here we go. Alright. Well, I figured that maybe 9 episodes in I would finally get the hang of things, but nope. Anyway, what's up, guys? Very sorry about that. I guess that's what happens when I try to do dumb things like bring my camera mobile. God, what's taking this iPad so long? I'm so uncomfortable. God, live streams always bring out the worst in me sometimes. Alright. We'll just sit like this for now. Still cold there. Yes, it is. It's so cold. Bueller. I got that. That's funny. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties for that. We want Kylie. That's funny. I'd like to bring you guys closer to the fire, but can't do that. Right. See, this is why... God, come on, I didn't... This is why I don't like touching my phone while I'm trying to do something. Never goes well. What we got here? Let me go grab something. I'll be right back. Do you have any inside info on when Carbon X will be available? Not at the moment. I have not talked to Matt or John Borden, and they haven't talked to me about any of the release dates yet, so nothing. Is that your pop sitting in the corner? No. No. Oh, check this out. Perfect. iPad's coming back on. Alright, good. Looks like we'll be just fine. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Let me get set up here. We'll get started in just a minute. I know I know you guys with the patience and everything, but sometimes you just gotta be patient. It's part of lawn care, right? Just give me a minute. Let me get a beverage. It looks like the iPad's back on. That's good. All right. Coke or Pepsi? Neither. Straight water. Ugh. All right. Great. Hopefully this doesn't die on me while it's plugged in. Oh, boy. Yes! Feels good to be back in my seat here. Alright. Oh, hey, by the way, real quick, I want to show you guys something. So this week in my entrepreneurship class, we had to do a project. We had to do a project and make like a new school drink. And this is what I came up with. Check this out, look. Citrus and Rye. Citrus and Rye, sponsored by JTLK. Yeah, so that's a little drink I came up with. Kind of a silly little thing. Basically a mixture of carbonated material and grass clippings. But it may sound funny, but it's creative. And hey, it's just a class project, and I'm not a brewer by any means, so. You mean back in the saddle again? Oh yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Good evening. Sorry I'm late to the party. No, man, you're just in time. All right. Well, it looks like we are just fine. So let's go ahead and get into it. What's going on, guys? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome back to another episode of Lawn Fires, where the fires are hot, the lawns are green, and the questions are engaging. For those of you guys who are new here, this is basically a weekly open format show I do in a more intimate setting with the fire behind me as a way to answer all of your frequently asked lawn questions. So, with all that being said, let's get into the chat, brah. So yeah, I forgot to mention, if you have any questions, put it in the chat, and I will answer them ASAP. All right, let's see what we got here. Tacos or burger tonight? Not sure, Connor. Haven't really made anything yet. RVA Lawn Love is Silverback's girl cooking? You know it's good. That's right. That's right, man. She makes some good food. Um, A's Lawn Landscaping message retracted. Huh, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I have to figure out these moderator things. Jake, explain your dad's Silverback nickname. Gladly. So, it all started about 4 years ago. Alan and I were, when Alan was living here, Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, and I, we were out doing a video about whose trimmer is better. And at the time, he was using the Lyric Eco trimmer, and I was using the Stihl FS81, so it was a pretty old Stihl. And I always talked to Al about, and Al would always tell me, hey, Jake, I really like the fact that, be like, Jake, I like the fact that you have a trimmer that's so high powered and beast like the Stihl. And I'd always tell him, well, I actually kind of prefer your Lear because it's not gas powered. But when I come gas powered, so in the video we talked about a lot of these things, like how the propane does better with starting because it doesn't involve much winterizing. And then during the video, Al walks over this camera to my dad and goes, about those poles, let's go check out your pops because he's having a heck of a time trying to get this trimmer started. And while he was trying to start that trimmer, he started saying he looks like a silverback gorilla. So here we are, about 5 years later. Anytime my dad and I go anywhere in the lawn care community, people are always asking me, hey Jake, is that the silverback? It's a great story. By the way, if you want to see the video, I'll link it here in the chat. I don't know if I'm going to do that right now because I want to answer some questions, but I'll probably put it at the end. LOL, you can't use Jedi bowling mind trick on. Don't know what that means. Connor Ward, it feels good to be back in the seat and being back in the saddle. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Nick Green, good evening. Sorry I'm late for the party. All good, bro. Just getting started. Cameron Cash, would you recommend or not putting a starter fertilizer down about 0.3 pounds per thousand of N after the lawn kind of thaws out? That kind of depends on your temperature. Now, like I said, our biggest target date is that pre-emergent application. That pre-emergent is going to stop any of the crabgrass that comes in. And once again, that is going to be our prodiamine at the recommended rate of about 5 pounds per thousand if you're using the product from Do My Own, or I believe 6.6 pounds. Don't trust me on this. This is off the top of my head of my buddy LCN's new product of prodiamine. Just go by label rates. Make sure you stay within the yearly maximums. I actually talked about this in my video on pre-emergence last year. So if you want to check that out, I will gladly leave it in the chat as well. But yeah, back to your question because I really didn't answer it yet. And that is starter fertilizer. If you want, you can put that down in conjunction with your pre-emergent app. Again, just make sure that the ground is thawed out, and at minimum, your temperatures are 55 degrees average in the soil. And once again, you want to make sure that once they get there, that they stay there. Make sense? All right. Lush Lawns. I have gone with Super Juice. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little off my game. I'm pretty tired. I didn't sleep a lot this week. S. Mayers. Looks like the lawn companies don't care about the 55-degree soil temps. True Green and Scott's are out spraying at low temperatures. Yeah, well, I guess I can kind of get what you're saying there. But what you have to realize is that these are big companies, and they're just trying to get things done in a timely manner. They're not so much on timing. It's more when they can find the opportunity to get out and get things. So I can't really give them a lot of flack there. I mean, from a business perspective, I kind of get it, right? They want to get the work done while they can so that they're not stuck doing it later into the year. And I'm sure that if anything does go wrong, they have a whole method, a whole strategy, a program they go by that probably caters for that. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, as a homeowner who's in control of what we do and when, not a good idea. Lush Lawns and the sisters steal the show. Yeah, man, my sisters they steal the show all the time with their comments. Connor Ward, what's up, buddy? Um, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Jake. It's 75 by me getting my backpack loader tomorrow. Awesome, buddy. Can't wait to see that. Ryan Schultz, Jake. What camera do most of the YouTubers use? GoPro Hero 7. Yeah, it's a good camera. Works pretty well. Um, I removed the message. Oh, yeah, A's Lawn Landscaping. I gotcha. Mark Aguglia, if that's how I pronounce your name. I'm terrible at this. Am I better off doing multiple apps of aerate at 3 ounces per thousand or 2 apps in spring and fall at 9 ounces per thousand? Well, if you were to ask me, who's trying to go for more of a frequent spoon feed type approach, I believe that 3 ounces per thousand every so often would be a better idea, as you're delivering little at a time and you're constantly catering to the soil, as opposed to throw down mass amounts once a month and then just catch up on the second app. Makes sense? By the way, everything okay in the video feed here? It looks a little funky. Yeah, I guess it's part of going live. Hmm. Um, Lush Lawns. The label is the lawn. That's funny. Freudian slip. Yeah, man. I make those all the time when I'm tired. So I might make a few here tonight because I'm a little tired, man. I slept like on average 4.5 hours a night because I stay up pretty late and I shouldn't, but part of being a teenager. Who's your blue? Connor Ward, how are the dahlia tubers? Oh, that's for Connor. Um, Great Ortiz, have you put down your pre-emergent or is it too cold yet? It's still too cold. Like I said, if you watched my last video where I showed you guys using the Greencast tool, it's important that you wait for the soil temperatures to hit 55 degrees. Now, if you want to use the tool, I will link it here in the chat in a second. But real quick, let me explain what to look for on the Greencast. So when you look at the Greencast, you're going to have a couple different views here. Number one, you're going to have a map of your area, and it's also going to give you a brief read of where your soil temperatures stand and where they have in the last 5 years. And then you're going to get kind of a bar graph, a horizontal bar graph, as I like to call it, with three different bars. One of them being today's average, where the average of your soil in the entire day. Number two being the average soil in the last 5 years, and number three being the average soil temperature in the last 10 years. So once the gap between all of those is smaller, then you know the temperatures are less likely to fluctuate, and you're good to go. So let me go ahead and link that below in the chat here, and you can see what I'm talking about. Now, if you guys don't understand clearly on the chat here and you need a visual, I will link below to a video that I did on the channel where I kind of walk you through this whole procedure. So let me just go ahead and do that. Perfect. Yeah. Copy. Alright, so my first link here is Greencast soil temperatures, and my second one is going to be the YouTube video where I talk about all of this. Now I feel like I'm getting in my zone. What's going on here? Alright. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing here? Huh. I always make things harder. Didn't know it could be this easy. Alright, let me just go ahead and copy the link here. Get back in the video here. How to So pre-emergent timing with screencast soil temps. All right. I left a link below to my video in case you're curious on how to use screencast soil temperatures to determine the right pre-emergent timing. I left that at the bottom of the chat if any of you are interested. Let me see here. Where was I? Have you put down? Oh yeah, I just read that. I have to grind a tree stump in my front yard. Should I try the doomed spring seed thing or just wait till fall? Well, if you ask me, if you have a well-established yard and you can get away with proper mowing and fertilizing to establish what you have there, then I would recommend waiting till the fall to do that and then do a heavy aeration overseeding to help bring that area back to life. Now, you could do it in the spring, but it's not the best idea. In fact, my good buddy Ryan Knorr actually put out a video the other day where he talked about the benefits and drawbacks of spring seeding, and from what I'm able to conclude here, it's mostly drawbacks because seeding in the spring means that you have to worry about the summer heat ahead, and means that you have to worry about combating that, and with that you have to do a lot of watering, just a lot of it, in order to keep that seed nice and green, because at that point it's not fully established yet. It's more likely to die than if you seed in the fall, let it overwinter, and then by the time that spring rolls around, it's more established. Make sense? I know I'm rambling a little bit, but like I said, I'm tired. It's been a long week. Just getting caught up on some things. I still had some assignments I had to turn in from lawn ecology, from not being at school. Mm. Oh boy, the way Jake, if you saw my text, no stream for me tonight. Yeah, man, I heard. Writer's block sucks. Mark Aguglia, video feels good, brother. Thank you, man. Eric Von Weddle, Jake, how old are you, dude? I'm 17 years old. 17 years old. How would you get rid of moles? I haven't really done any videos on that. I really haven't done any trials with that whatsoever, so I don't know for sure, but I do know that there are a couple methods you can do. If you were to ask me, though, I prefer mechanical means over chemical, so anything you can do to mechanically trap them would probably be the best option. Now, once again, off the top of my head, I'm not very sure, but if you were to ask me, that's what I would do as a first-timer. Hmm. What's up, Tim Fisher? How you doing, buddy? Glad you could make it in tonight. Um, Appreciate you, brother. Brett Kavanaugh. Um, Fire bath. After you clean up the mess and add some topsoil to the hole, plant your seed. It's easier to do one small spot than a whole yard. Yeah, I guess he's kind of right there. But what I would do is I would use soil as close to the composition of what you have in your lawn, because if you bring in soil with too much matter in it, like topsoil, that area that you seed is definitely going to have a darker appearance than the rest of the lawn because it's higher quality soil. So if you were to ask me, I'd recommend taking some surplus soil on site and using it to fill in a little bit of that area. Now, I get it if it's a big hole, especially if it's a big stump, probably not something you can help, but if you can help it, that's what I recommend you do. Mm. What's up, Thomas Bates? Glad you could make it, brother. God, why does it keep doing that? I want to mow, sharpen my blade today, and I'm just waiting to apply pre-emergent when the temp is right. Yeah, me too, brother. Me too. Remember, 55 degrees. Once the temperatures get there and they stay there and they fluctuate very little, you're good. Grass Nectar Lawn Care. What's up, brother? Hey, Jake, can you talk about spring lawn care programs? Are you starting off with the starter fertilizer and then waiting a bit doing pre-emergent and spot spraying? Yeah, so let me go over my spring plan with you guys real quick. So typically it's going to start off with my pre-emergent application. And one thing I used to do in the past is I would wait 3 weeks, and then once things got a little bit warmer, I'd put down my application of starter fertilizer. Now, there's really no particular reason for me doing that. I just do it because I like to space apps out and do kind of one at a time instead of putting down pre-emergent and starter fertilizer at one time in tandem, especially if I can help it. But if you want, you can put them down the same day. Not going to interfere with each other. Not going to do any harm. Um, so I will do that in the spring. I'll put my pre-emergent down and my starter fertilizer. And then 4 to 5 weeks later, when the temperatures start coming up, then I will start fertilizing my lawn monthly with about a half pound of Milorganite. So that's about 6 to 8 pounds per 1,000 square feet, I believe. In this case, though, this year, like I've talked about, my goal is going to be to lower my nitrogen rates, um, by adding in more of the micros to help give a boost to what's already in the soil. So I'm going to be putting out a 1/4 pound of nitrogen every month, and I'm going to be doing that using the Green County Next product. So basically, fertilizing wise, I'm going to be going all liquid on my front lawn this year, and we're going to walk through that and see how it goes. So I hope you guys are ready for the ride. And we also got a ton of cool projects coming up. I know I have some test plot action I'm going to be doing. We're going to be talking about that soon. So tons of stuff coming up. Make sure you stay tuned and you subscribe to the channel to see all that fun stuff. So yeah, as far as spot spraying, yes, I will spot spray weeds every now and then. And I will do that with the typical 3-way over-the-counter weed control that contains active ingredients, 2,4-D, dicamba, and a little bit of conchloric for the grassy weeds. I will spray that only when needed, which is very rare, to get rid of any of the nuisance weeds that I have. All right. I hope that answers your question, Grass Nectar. If not, I'd be happy to go a little bit more in detail for you. Grace Ortis, how is the fall project you did with LCN looking? Have you checked up on it? No, not yet. I need to go over there. In fact, I think I'm going to plan a little trip over there maybe on Sunday or so, just to go see what it looks like, and maybe I'll incorporate that into Sunday's video. So stay tuned for that coming up. In fact, we're literally about a couple weeks away from actually getting out and doing some applications. So that'll be coming up. Looks like soil temperatures will be above average in the upper Midwest where you're at, Jake. Yeah, man, I hear about that. So I'm really excited, man. I just can't wait to get out. I feel like a caged animal this time. You're just wanting to get out and do some work and exert all that stress that I have to deal with all throughout the week. So I can't wait to get out and start work. Man, I'm starving. Should have brought some meat. This is Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. I don't. It sounds familiar. Where do I know you from? Is Instagram? I believe it's Instagram. It's Jimmy Neutron. I love that, brother. Yeah, man. That's what I'm going for. Oh my God. You know what? I forgot what my dad said I look like. He said I look like this guy that Martin Short plays. Oh my God. It is long though. You know, we're at about 3 inches on top here. Got to get it cut soon. Probably gonna go eat here in a minute. Get some food. What do we got here? Of course, I want to see it laying stripes and cutting again, but yes, I know how you feel with the investment. Oh, he's talking to Connor. Eric Von Windle, I used the Ring of Lawn Restore for the first time today. Does anyone else think it smells like stale bread? Yeah, man, I agree with you there. It does smell a little bit like Wheaties stale bread. Oh yeah, Ed Grimley. Yes, Ed Grimley. That's what my dad said I look like. He said I look like Ed Grimley. That's so funny. Danny Powers, what herbicide do you use to kill cool season grass in KBG? I use triplet for broadleaf weeds after buying Celsius for over $100. The label says not for cool season grass. Example, KBG. I really haven't gotten too far into the advanced science weed controls yet, like the higher level professional types. Mostly I've been using over-the-counter stuff, and I've been using it here and there, so not an investment I'm willing to make just yet. I'm going to stick with over-the-counter weed control. Maybe eventually when some deal comes around, I will then get involved with the professional weed controls. I'm good right now. I'm still practicing, still becoming better. I mean, I've only been spraying weeds for a good year now, so I want to kind of get a better, better idea on what I'm doing here. Maybe recalibrate the way I use my sprayer a little bit, do some more videos in there, and then maybe I'll consider switching to a higher quality product. But gets the job done. Can't complain. Um, Thanks, Jake. No problem, Ed. Glad I can help you. Better than Jimmy Glick. Yeah, that's funny. Rashid, what's up, brother? Glad you could make it. Aviation World 787. When was the last time it snowed? I'd say about a good 2 weeks. Alan must be sleeping. Yes, he might be. Or he might come in here a little later. I mean, you never know with Alan, right? He's a busy guy. Jim, do you have any tips on edging? It's really letting my lawn down at the moment. It's just patience or practice. Well, are you talking about edging with a string trimmer? Because that is something I have quite a bit of experience with. So, all you got to do is you just got to hold the trimmer steady and put the line where you want it. Now, as far as telling you on the live stream here, I can't do it very well because I don't have a visual, so we'll have to hold back on that. Maybe talk about it sometime later this year. But if you want to continue using a blade edger, probably the best option because you don't have to worry about stuff flinging everywhere and getting in your face. But that's what I would do. I gotta say that piece is really holding up very well. Got another 2 hours out of it, I'd say. Mm. Mm. A's Lawn and Landscaping. Can you please do a video on how to calibrate the orthodilane spray? Oh yeah, about that. I want to talk to you guys about something I've been doing on the channel, and I'm sure you guys kind of picked up on it. I'm actually doing a little series on sprayer calibration now. I don't know how long I'm actually going to go. It kind of depends on how much I see, what I can do. Like I have some jar testing that I'm going to do this year. Probably going to show you that. But mainly what we're going to be focusing on this weekend is calibrating a hose end sprayer because one of the things I talked about in last week's video was how to calibrate a backpack or basically any pump sprayer on the market for your lawn, right? So what I figured I would do to kind of broaden that so that it can apply to everybody is I'll take the knowledge that I used from that video and I'll apply it. I'll apply some of the same things we talked about, but with a different twist for the hose end sprayer. So that's actually something we're going to be doing on the channel this Sunday. So make sure you stay tuned and subscribe for that content coming up here on Sunday. God, my nose is itching like crazy. Thomas Bates III. What's the best way to identify weeds? To be honest with you, I really don't know. I mean, there are a couple online resources here that you can check out, especially from the universities that allow you to look them up. And but yeah, that's pretty much about it, really. Really, just using Google and figuring things out, and looking in your yard, comparing images side by side. That's really the best way. That's really the best advice I can give you based on what I know. So, as far as an exact source, I have nothing for you. But the best way to do it would be to look at some online weed identifications from your local university, especially Purdue. Purdue's pretty good. Or if you're down south, maybe Tennessee State. Good tools to use on measuring or identifying weeds. Please stand up. Can't stand that chair. Put the pan up just a bit. There we go. Jake is the king of straight string edging. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, Mark. Alan is the king of lawns. Yeah, he is, man. He inspired me greatly. I look up to the guy. I'm surprised Alan Hain isn't here. Yeah, me too. In fact, I got done talking to him about some projects we're going to be doing here later in the year, and he told me that he's out having dinner right now, so he's not available. But I'm sure he'll come on here later tonight, depending on how long we stick around, but that's all I know. Jixer 750 Pilot. Hey Jake, the Forsythia is blooming here in the UK. Yeah, man, that's great. Great time to put down some organic. What the heck is going on? Call me. Oh, maybe it was important. It's hard to tell when most of the telemarketers call me. Hmm. Progress FC to kill Poa Anua in cool season. Is that a question, or are you just throwing that out there? Because um, I've never tried it. I've never tried it. Progress FC, you say will kill Poa Anua in cool season grass. I'm not 100% sure, but if it does, that's something I'd like to try because in my front lawn, I get Poa Anua really bad, especially like in some areas along the edge along the driveway. That's where it comes in pretty bad, and then once it starts to die off in early June, my lawn just looks really ugly. It's pretty bad. But yeah, if you have an alternative for that, that would be nice. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me get back in here. Thanks, JK. I was talking about a string trimmer. They are all really available here. Yeah, man. I hear you. But yeah, it's all about practicing, right? You just got to get a feel for it. Like you have to hold it still and then just kind of practice walking a straight line with it. And then eventually as you do it more and more you get better at it. Now, not really a visual I could show you here, but maybe later in the summer I can do that for you. So, we'll see what's coming up here. Especially when I'm doing these outside, which by the way, yeah, the show's going to continue going throughout the summer. I'm going to try my best to keep it going. We're going to take it outside. Um, Corporate HQ, best cut quality mower, Jake. What's your vote? Right now, I'm going to have to say the Snapper High Vac. It's really nice. It's got like a double bladed system underneath it so that when it mulches stuff up, it's like mulching times two. It does a really good job. And because it has, the double threaded blade on there, it does a really good job of cutting things fast and clean. So if you were to ask me, Snapper High Vac. Now, again, Toro Super Recycler is a good mower too, from what I hear. My buddy Alan has one, as well as the Honda HRX 217. Everybody has that mower, and from what I hear, it doesn't disappoint. Now, me, I can't give you a full final verdict on that because I've never used it, but that is something I'd like to do in the future here coming up. God, my nose runs really bad. Burt Collins, happy Friday. Thank you, brother. How you doing? Um, Lush Lawns, keep up the good work. Gotta go. Date night. You got that, man. Good luck. Danny Powers, Lush Lawns, annual POA, and annual in Dallas grass. Mm, smart. Max Lawn and Garden Care. How much does a bag of Morganite cost in the USA? It varies. It varies because they're in such high demand right now. Depending on the retailer you get it from, it can range anywhere from $6 to $15, and that depends on who's selling it. It varies by the retailer. What's up, JTLK? What's up, Dennis Sharkett? How you doing, brother? Jim Mac, you're probably best off waiting until early to mid-September seeding in the UK. If we get a summer like we had last year, I doubt it will survive. Yeah, I believe Mac. Yeah, Mac, I believe that's the best thing to do. Did I miss your question? Man, I do this all the time. I do this all the time when I'm tired. I need a coffee, dude. Ugh. Went out and did a light rig. Hold on, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. God, I'm sorry. The Lawn Guardian, Jason Creel from the Lawn Care Life channel does good weed identification videos. Yes, Jason Creel is the king of weed ID. In fact, if you haven't checked him out, I recommend you do. The Lawn Care Life on YouTube. This guy is really good at identifying weeds and giving you guys good control options for it. So the idea being is that while he's over there identifying the weeds, what I plan to show you guys this year is how I'm going to go about making my lawn so that I don't have to use weed control on it as much. In fact, Paul Castleberry, the guy with Green County Fertilizer, who's making the DIY videos, he made a great point about some guy who came up to him using their product saying, hey, I want to continue to keep weeds out of my lawn, but I want to do it in a way where I'm not putting Band-Aids on my lawn constantly. And what he means by that is having to spray weed control so much because his lawn is deficient in so many nutrients. So when you look at the lawn in more of a broader pattern, like you're making sure that it's balanced in all the macros and all the micros, you're less likely to have weeds. Lawn is healthy and it's growing like it's supposed to. Make sense? So that's the whole picture we're trying to paint here. So I hope that makes sense. You know what? Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make a coffee. I'm so tired. On my way back. I'm back, and I'm gonna be more awake than ever. Oh, a little hot. It's okay. We'll make it work. What's up with the Project Lawn this year? Great question. Alan and I are getting ready to get together here in the next week or so to get that first application, which is going to be our pre-emergent application. It'll give me an opportunity to do another video about pre-emergence, maybe dive a little bit deeper to why we use the pre-emergence and all about the pre-emergent timing and things like that, and things to consider when you apply pre-emergence. So stay tuned for that coming up. That'll be coming up here in the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Right around the time I'm out of school for a week for spring break. So that'll be coming up here very soon. Stay tuned. It's beach season for Alan. It's always beach season for Alan, man. Jixer 720 Pilot. Yeah, that heat killed mine. Don't know what he's talking about. Probably talking to somebody in the chat here. Eric Von Whittle. I don't know, man. I don't know what that was. Dennis Sharkett. When is the throwdown of pre-emergent? Once soil temperatures hit 55 degrees and they stay within that 55 degree range, we're talking about maybe a 5 degree up and down fluctuation here and there. That's a great time to get that application down. If you would like to a further detailed video on how to apply, how to time your pre-emergent applications correctly using online tools such as Greencast soil temperatures, I link them to you here at the bottom of the chat, so that you can check them out. So, pre-em timing with Greencast soil temps. That is at the bottom of the chat if you want to check it out. Alrighty. Where we at here? Hunter Gag, what's up, brother? Tim Fisher found Time Masters for $800 today at a local mower shop. Sounds like a deal. I'm not looking to get one though, especially for the business. I want something that's gonna last. Harnor Gag, what are your thoughts on the electric motors? For what? Never used them. Eric Von Whittle. Milo cost me up to $12 at HD. Yeah, like I said, it varies by the retailer. Aviation World 787. What are your thoughts on battery-powered weed eaters? Not a fan of them. Honestly not. They don't have enough power. Now, as far as the DeWalt and the Milwaukee folks over there, never used their product before, so I can't give you a final verdict on that. But from my past experience using some of the cheap ones, I'm not happy with them. I believe I want that gas. I want that horsepower. Gary Herrera, have you tried Tenacity during the fall to prevent Poa annua? I did it on my lawn, and this is the first year. I still do not see any. Um, I've never tried it before, so I can't give you a full verdict on it. But if it worked really well for you, that's great, man. That's something I might have to consider next year, because one of the biggest things I run into in the fall is I don't want to overcomplicate things, right? Because I have two choices to make. I can either seed or put down a full pre-emergent app. Oh, not once. What? Didn't intend to do that. Seed or put down a pre-emergent app. So sorry about that. Sorry. Um, Put down a pre-emergent app, and they have products like Tenacity that allow you to seed in conjunction with your pre-emergent. And what am I getting at here? I just lost it. Let me take a drink. So Tenacity gives you the option basically to seed in conjunction with a pre-emergent app for the crabgrass and weeds such as Poa annua. I've never tried it before, so I can't give a full verdict, but if it works, that's great. Maybe I'll try that this fall. You notice spring in Alabama when you start dodging tornadoes. That's funny, buddy. Eric Von Weddle, we have lots of weeds down south. Really, man. Yeah, I've heard a lot about them. You guys got some funky weeds down there. Doug ED, any post-high school plans yet, Jake? Yeah, like I plan on going to Purdue, taking 2 classes, one in turf management, one in business. Just, further educating myself about the industry here so that I can keep going further on. Intermission. Any lawns in your neighborhood that look as good as yours? Yeah, there's a couple. In fact, some that actually look better. And these are lawns that are treated by professionals. Like my neighbor down the street over here, he has a beautiful yard. And part of it has to do with the fact that he seeded it. And part of why that lawn actually did better than mine when it was first established is because that's the only place that seed is grown, right? And because that's adapted to that environment. It's at its best. It's at its strongest because it had the time to adapt to it. Whereas my sod, it was babied and loved. It was ripped out, and then it was ripped out with a sod cutter and planted on this really hardcore clay soil. So that's why I have some of the issues I do, such as quackgrass and all that, because some nutrients were bound up. And because at the time, and because of that, I have to deal with those problems. There's not really much I can do about those hard to beat grasses, but deal with them and just hope they blend in well with my grass, especially with constant mowing. But yeah, there are a few lawns out here that do look better than me, especially landscaping wise, because you guys seen my landscaping. It's god awful. It's very bland, but I guess we can go ahead and say that I'm busy with my business and creating content for you guys. I just don't have the time. Max Lawn and Garden Care. How old are you now, and what are you doing as a job, or what do you want as a job in the future? I want to be right now I'm a content creator and I run my own lawn care business, and in the long term I want to be a full-time YouTuber. That's what I want to do. I love this. I love doing this. I love making videos and teaching you guys how to do things. It's fun for me. It's enjoyable. Therapeutic. Jake, can we have a brief rundown for your 2019 lawn goals? Sorry if you've already posted them and I've missed them. Okay, gladly. So one of my biggest goals this year is I want to take my fertilizer intake, my nitrogen input down by a lot. Because as you've seen in my video, I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but if you look a couple videos back, I talk a little bit about, recapping my 2018 lawn season. And one of the things I come to realize with all those nitrogen apps I put down in that entire year, I put down about a good 3.5 pounds of nitrogen for the entire year. And in my opinion, I feel like that's way too much. So one of my goals this year is I'm going to take that nitrogen input down a little bit. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do it using products like from the Green County Next line, like Green Punch, Green Start, Aerate, RGS, all those cool products. And I'm just going to attempt, a smaller micro dosing, if you will. I'm going to be doing it more frequently, but in a way that delivers me a much lower amount of nitrogen. So in this case, my plan for this year is to apply about 1.25 pounds of nitrogen on my lawn for the entire year. That's it, and just see how it plays out. Yeah. Here we go again.
Are you watching yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm narcissistic like that.
Skip the ads, Logan.
Whatever. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Messages held for review. What's this? Oh. Let's pause that. Thanks, man. Jim Carrey used to send funny letters to rapper Tupac Shakur when he was in. That's funny. Jacob Hall, what weed eater do you use?
Weird.
I'm slurring on my words tonight. Oh yeah, hey, by the way, Jacob, I shipped out your gas can. It'll be at your house on Tuesday, so look out for that. It's Olivia. Gary Herrera. Haha, that's funny, Jake. Epic slip up. Thoughts on electric lawnmowers? Don't like them. The Inca's measurement of time was based on how long it took to boil a potato. What? Jake, another good tool to use in addition to Greencast is the gddtracker.net. Is only applicable for Northwest and Northwest. God, what's wrong with me? Of the U.S., unfortunately. Shut up. I'm transposing all these words incorrectly. I'm so freaking tired. I've only slept 4 to 5 hours every night in the last week. I'm freaking beat.
Yeah, because you're up at like 12 every day.
Yeah, I'm working, man.
Yeah, why didn't I watching shows and laughing was working?
Yeah, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Come up with ideas. Yeah, the Lawn Guardian, I have used the GED tracker, great tool. Gives you a better idea where things stand as far as soil temperatures. Dennis Circuit, I want to start the next 4-pack and use Milo. Any suggestions? The biostimulant is a great pack. You have projects like RGS, Aerate, Humic 12, Microgreen, all those great products. They're just going to help bring out more of your fertilizer that you're putting down so that you don't have to put down as much. So that's a great combo to start off with, and maybe an application of dethatch in the mid to late spring.
Yeah.
A's Lawn and Landscaping. Do you make money on YouTube? Yes, I make enough, brother. Rashid, we drive by the Project Lawn every day on the way to from work. Always looking for you guys. If you hear us honking, leave it. Yeah, man, we will. We'll leave it in the video. What do we got here? Who is the girl? That's my sister Cassidy. She was in last week's show, if you don't remember. Jim, awesome feedback on the nitrogen reduction. I did love that video you did with Alan where you guys throw it down so hard. Yeah. With the next products, will your weeds get stronger? Well, not if I'm feeding the soil, because if I feed the soil, eventually what's going to happen is my lawn is going to, my lawn's going to start growing better and stronger to a point where it's going to better resist those weeds. Soil Activator Pack 2. Yeah, A's Lawn and Landscaping. Basically all the products. Great products. Only going to help. Is it snowing? No. Tell me one thing that you love about YouTube. The community. I love the community more than anything. Max Lawn and Garden Care. Why are you always drinking out of a plastic bottle in your videos? I thought you were being lawn care kid would care more about the environment. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I really don't care about the environment that much. I'm not a tree hugger like a lot of people. Now, I'm not trying to say it to be rude, but I do preach lower nitrogen inputs and things like that, but it's not so much stuff that correlates into my real life. Now, come on, everybody drinks out of water. Everybody's trying to throw me to the walls. A's Lawn and Landscaping, what's the weather like there? It's a little warm, about 35, 40 degrees right now, and a little chilly outside, so not a great night to be outside. Sean McLaughlin, do you have a drain plug for your mower under the deck for your Toro? Not sure what that is. You'll have to tell me in the chat here. His secret is to put out consistent content. Yes, that is right, man. Tell him, Jake. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm getting a little worked up. Like I said, I'm tired. I didn't sleep a lot this week. Drain plug for your oil. Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah, like I said, sorry for my lack of energy. I'm sure that the more I keep answering questions, the more I'll get into it. How old are you? 17 years old. Throwing down my Prium tomorrow. Super pumped. Spring has started here. That's awesome, bro. Looking forward to throwing mine down here in another couple days. How old are you? 17. Just answered that. What other YouTubers do you recommend watching? Well, there are a couple I like. Casey Neistat, How to Beast, and Gary Vaynerchuk. Those are by far the three that I watch all the time besides lawn care. What are you streaming on? Mobile phone. Google Pixel. Phone is good for streams. It's been a great show. I'll try to bring some content next time. Alright, man, that's cool. Like I said, open format. Bring anything you want. Only helps. Remember 17... I remember 17, 35 years ago. Yeah, man. You gotta live these years up, right? Would you consider my channel one of the ones you watch? Yeah, of course, buddy. I mean, we're best friends. We support each other. Now, when I said that, I was talking about channels outside of the lawn care community, basically. Channels that kind of help mold me into who I am today. Could you do a video where you show what Alan's old house looks like? You know what? That would be a great idea. In fact, maybe I can get out and talk to Megan, see what we can do, and maybe I can get over there and do a video. In fact, one thing we're actually talking about is possibly restoring that lawn. We might try to do that this year. Stay tuned. What other lawn care YouTubers do you recommend? Well, Lawn Care Nut, Ryan Knorr, Connor Ward, The Grass Factor, John Perry at Lawncology. The list is endless. I recommend everybody. They're all great in their own way. We're all great in our own way. We create our own content. We all have a story to tell, and I think that's what makes us all great and unique. So, if you ask me who my favorite lawn care YouTubers are, I'm gonna have to say all of them because we all have our own unique stories and interests. We all have something to share. How was your interaction with Pete Denny from GCI Turf? I met him in August, one of the best dudes I've ever met. Yeah, man, Pete is a really down-to-earth guy. He's the type of guy that is exactly how he is on camera, off camera. I love that guy. I love that guy to death, man. Just a great, all-around, awesome dude, man. Like, talking to him, it's like, he's a really big guy for a reason. He's big because he's humble, right? And that's something I really admire about Pete. He's a good guy, he's humble, and he's just down to earth. I love people like that. just salt to the earth dude. Just trying to make it happen like all of us. How is Alan's old lawn looking since he moved? Yeah, it's looking alright. I'll be showing you some updates here soon. Watched Alan's last night, started taking notes finally. We watch you both, but you're down the road, so more match to us. I believe my next move is Prodiamine at 55 degrees and low. Blanket spot. Prodiamine at 55 degrees. Yep. Dead on, man. Dead on. Jake, text me after the stream. Yes, I'll do that, Ace. We'll talk a little later. Mac and Lanker, I have got a small YouTube channel where I do similar videos to you. I was wondering what tip would you give me to meet my YouTube channel better? Okay, so I get this question a lot, especially because I'm in the media space and I do a lot of creating, so I do have a little bit of seniority in this. Now, one of the things that I've seen that really drives traffic on my channel is SEO. Is three things, basically. The proper SEO, consistency, and frequency. Let me explain what I mean. Now, probably not in that order, but you get it. So three things here. Frequency, consistency, and proper SEO. Starting with proper SEO. So when you make a video, it's very important that you make sure that you title your videos. You title your videos exactly what the viewers are looking for. So if you're doing a video, let's say how to put down grass seed or how to put down pre-emergent. In this case, pre-emergent. How to put down crabgrass pre-emergent. How to apply prodiamine. Those are great titles that will bring us all in, right? And then another thing to do is to dive a little bit deeper. When you make a YouTube video, you're going to have a feature underneath your video called tags, and there what you can do is you can put tags of certain items that show up in your video, and the way I like to do it is I like to do three things. Number one, I like to have 3 different parts to my tags, and I have them divided into 3 sections. Number one is my all-around channel keywords that will appear in every video to show how videos relate from one another. And then my second row of tags are going to be those are going to be tags unique to that video. And then my third row of tags, that's going to be like my name and my brand. So let me show you a good example, okay? So when you put in your tags, you have tags in there like lawn care advice, lawn tips, lawn mowing, lawn fertilizing, lawn striping. You have those in every single video. So in that way, there's a little bit of similarity, because there is a lot of similarity in every video. Let's be honest, that's the subject matter of the channel here. And then let's say I'm doing a video on prodiamine, right? So crabgrass pre-emergent, how to prevent crabgrass, prodiamine, barricade, anything that relates to the topic, put it in that tags feature so that you can reach the broadest audience possible. Because I guarantee you, when it comes to a certain time of the year where people are going to be looking how to do things, they're going to be searching a lot of those common keywords. So when in doubt, add more keywords, because the more keywords you have, the broader of an audience you're able to meet. Make sense? All right. Man, it's still light outside. Wow. That time change really got to me. And then my last tags, let me get back to this. So the last row of tags, those are going to be my name and my brand. So in this case, my name, Jacob Sullivan. I've told you guys that before. And then right next to it, I hit enter and I put Jake the Lawn Kid, right? So Jacob Sullivan, Jake the Lawn Kid. So in summary, title your video right, make sure you have a good thumbnail, and then make sure you take full advantage of tags. You do that by having 3 sections. You have your channel tags on the top, your video tags in the middle, things that are unique to that video, and then lastly you finish off with your 2 name and brand tags. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably don't understand that. I'll have to show you a visual sometime, but you'll get the hang of it. Like I said at Lawncology, if you want more in-depth help with that, call me. Yeah, Well, we're gonna go ahead. We got some weird chats coming in here. Let's go ahead and report this guy. Hold on, let me block something. Let me just get this out of here. Put him in timeout. I put you in timeout. Don't need to deal with that. Let me get back into the chat here. God. Where was I? Oh yeah. Eric Von Whittle. I have to follow Alan's advice because I have St. Augustine grass. Yeah, and that's a good thing to do. Now, a good thing to do is to tune into both channels here and there because in that way there is some similarity and overlap that applies to both the grasses. Make sense? Tim Fisher. I found some Hydrotain. I found some Hydrotains plus 2 for cheap, so I bought 2 30-ounce container sprayers. It says it can be applied up to 5 times the general application rate, so I plan to use the whole container, 32 ounces. Well, if it says that, spray away. Sean McLaughlin, you and Ryan are unique because you have mainly bluegrass lawns. This is a niche for you to take an advantage of for content and teaching. Yes, in fact, we have some... Here at Lawn Kit headquarters, we have so much going on here with bluegrass that'll be happening in the future. Stay tuned. Let's see what we got here. Grass Top Notch Lawn Care. What's up, brother? Glad you can make it. Tim Fisher. On my 1,000 square foot yard, as a first application, it won't be quite 5 times, but it'll definitely be heavy. My question is, when is a good window with temps to get this down? I assume shortly after a pre-emergent. Now, Hydrotain, it's not really something that I recommend year-round, but I recommend it as a supplement for I recommend it more as an aid for irrigation because one of the problems we have, especially in the summer when it dries out, is with irrigation, especially if you water by hand. The last thing you want to do is have to go out and water your lawn all the time. So the nice thing about Hydrotain is that they blend it so that the chemistry can actually reduce the amount of irrigation you have to do by allowing the soil to retain moisture. So really the best time to apply it would be in the summertime when things get hot and dry, just to help your lawn retain moisture and cut your irrigation down by 50%, as it says verbatim on the label. Wow, look at that. Look at that sun streak there, man. Usually it's pitch black by this time. It's crazy. Alright. I hope that answers your question, Tim. Keneal01. Hi, Jake. Good to see you. Greetings from Norway. Did you start an hour earlier today? I like your sprayer videos you posted this week. Thanks, man. We got one more coming this weekend showing you guys everything you need to know about how to calibrate your hose end sprayer. Stay tuned for all of that. Where was I? Oh, did I start an hour earlier today? No, it's the time change. We're back on daylight savings time, and because of that, we have that extra hour of evening back. So that's kind of nice, but in order to compensate for that, I think I'm going to have to make the show a little later, but yeah. Hope you guys don't mind the streak of sun there. I might have to move that. That's okay. Make it work. Good stuff. Where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah, right here. When the grass starts growing, that's a multi-part question got broken up. When does the grass start growing? I believe you're asking me. Once temperatures get to that 50, 65 degree mark, lawns are going to start growing faster, and because of that, you're going to want to start mowing. A's Lawn and Landscaping. Do you get ads on your videos? Every now and then. It's part of how I make my money, man. I'm going to be honest with you. Up front. Let me move over here. I want to... I got the fire back there, but I can't block it. Where was I? Don't you have like 20 tags for video? Yes. Like I said, the more tags, the broader of an audience you're able to reach, and the more traffic you get in the end. So when in doubt, add more tags. Same thing with Instagram. Add as many hashtags as you can. I know there's like a certain limit where if you put too many tags, they'll frickin' ban you, so you need to be careful. But make sure that you use enough tags so that you can apply to the broadest audience possible. Okay. Kai the Guy, thank you for the YouTube technical side. He wants to have his own gamer channel. That's cool, man. You know what? I wish you luck, man. I wish you the best of luck. I know you can do it. Just make sure that you stay consistent, stay frequent with your uploads, and no matter what people say, just keep creating. That's all. That's the only thing that's gonna get you somewhere. It's just keep doing you. I promise you, you're gonna go places. Imagine coming online to behave like an idiot towards a legend. Huh. That's odd. Alright, well, I'm glad I got rid of, glad I got rid of that guy in the chat, man. Just saying some really obscure stuff. Not necessary. That guy reported his messages. Yeah, I did too. I deleted them. Hid him from the channel. You don't need to be saying anything. That's why they were going away. PewDiePie or T-Series? Don't really know. Don't watch them. Shane Mitchell. Hey, I know I've been asking you about how to get rid of moss in the lawn. I've done some looking into it myself and found a product called Moss Out. I'll let you know how it works. Maybe you could do a video on it. Okay. Sounds great. In fact, if you want to talk to me about this, Shane Mitchell, you can email me at sullivanjacob@gmail.com. I'd really appreciate that. Sounds like a great opportunity. I'd like to talk about it. Days getting longer now. Yeah, they are, man. They're really getting longer. It does. Okay, cool. What were you asking me? It does. Okay, cool. So I'll wait till hotter temps and with humic in it too. Thank you. Yes. Wait, Tim, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, save that app. Oh, yeah, about the Hydrotain, save that application for when it really gets hot. Use it when you really need it, because once we get into the spring here, we're going to have a lot of rain anyway, so there's really no need for the Hydrotain. It's when you get into the summer months that you want to consider it. Alright, now I'm ready to go, man. I guess all I needed was a little coffee to wake me up. Let's see. It does. Oh yeah. It's blinding. Yo, 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 Polo Fields in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing? Glad you can make it. Tim Fishers. No, I meant the Hydrotain question got broken up into 3 parts. You nailed the answer for me, though. Thank you. Glad I could help you, Tim. That's what I'm here for. Canelo1. Have you tried to overseed after prodiamine? The label says 6 weeks. No, I haven't, and that's not really something I want to try. Overseeding is something I want to do in the fall when I want to add more cultivars into the lawn. But as far as spring seeding, something you can try, but I don't recommend it because I want to give my seed time to establish and overwinter so that when comes next spring, it's more mature. Thus, it's going to be more resilient to the summer stresses to follow. Make sense? I'll be doing... By the way, for those of you guys who don't understand this, I don't want you guys to worry too much because I'm going to be doing tons of in-depth videos all throughout the year showing you guys all these concepts I'm talking about. So, for those of you who don't understand it, it's okay. I got you. Hooner Gag, hey Jake, do you mind helping me about and giving... Well, dude, listen, Harner Gag, just create content, and I promise you, you'll get traffic. And as I've talked about, make sure that you have good thumbnails, you have good video titles, and that you take advantage of the tags too on your YouTube channel, and I'm telling you, your channel will blow up. And another thing, make sure that you're making videos frequently, and that you're making them consistency in the long run, because that'll win you more traffic. That's how I've gotten where I'm at. The amount of people who poke fun of the channel is crazy. Yeah, man, bunch of haters out there, bunch of keyboard warriors as we call them. But you know what? These people got nothing better to do, and I gotta say, it amazes me sometimes. But it's how it is in this world. You know, you just gotta deal with it. Jeff Maddox, when putting down next products, do you prefer a hose end sprayer or a backpack sprayer? To be honest with you guys, I kind of prefer the hose end sprayer because what I like about the hose end sprayer, and I'm actually going to be talking about this in the video on Sunday, is I like that I'm able to calibrate the sprayer to me, whereas with the the backpack sprayers, I have to kind of do a little bit of adjustment to make sure that I'm getting out that proper gallon per thousand because, as I said before, I can't really adjust the pressure on a backpack sprayer, and because of that, I do have to compensate for that and walk a little slower to make sure that I get that 1 gallon per thousand out. Whereas with the hose end sprayer, I basically set it to how many ounces I want to come out in a certain amount of time. I just walk my natural speed and get it done in the time that I want to get it done. So I kind of like the fact that I'm able to, you know, be a little more in control with the hose end sprayer. So to answer your question, I kind of do prefer the hose end, and we'll be talking all about that more in depth in the video this Sunday. By the way, if you're wondering how the fire is still burning back there, I actually have one of those. I have one of those fire logs that you get at like the store. I have them in there. It says it's gonna burn for a good 3 hours, and you know what? It's not really that cold, so I'm not putting any more wood on it. Yo, Jake, aren't you glad the snow is gone? Well, at least it's gone here in Louisville. Are you still laying low, and if so, when? Okay, so good couple questions here. The snow is gone, and the temperatures were actually reaching up into the 60s, 70s this week, so it was really warm. Soil temperatures are starting to skyrocket, and because of that, we're going to be putting down some applications very soon. Stay tuned for all that. And I am going to continue to use Milorganite. I have a couple experiments planned out for it. Stay tuned for those coming up, I promise you. And as well as our Project Lawn. That's really all we're using on it is Milorganite. That's our stable fertilizer for the year. So for those of you guys who think I'm abandoning Milorganite, don't worry because I'm not. Great people, great company. I plan to use the products more in the future. Do you have a sprinkler system on your lawn? Nope. I gotta water by hand. It's not fun. Especially when you see. Always gotta have coffee. Yep, man. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this guy on YouTube. His name is Vic DiPotetto. He's a comedian. He's a comedian. I believe he was born in Brooklyn. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he was Brooklyn, born and raised. Very, very northeastern. And he does these bits on his YouTube channel called "Who Wants Coffee?" Huh. Love that guy, man. He's a very funny guy. He also does another segment that I really like called TikTok Vic, where he complains about things that are going on in the world, and I couldn't agree more with what he's saying sometimes. What do we got here? Do I power aerate in the fall just before... Do I power aerate in the fall just before seeding and before spring fertilizer? What do you mean by power aerating? Is that a new thing, or do you just mean mechanical? Now, mechanical aeration is something we've preached for a while. If that's what you're talking about, let me just go ahead and talk here, go on a little tangent. So, mechanical aeration is something we've preached for a long time, right? You aerate the lawn, you pull some cores out to loosen the soil, and then you put down some seed, and hopefully the seed can grow, right? But the reality of that is that you can actually grow seed. You can actually grow seed the same amount, or maybe a little bit better without the aeration, because if you're constantly feeding your soil the nutrients it needs, it's going to be just fine. And if you're also using products like Aerate from the next line, you should be totally fine, as you are getting more of an even application as opposed to about 20% of the soil surface. So I believe that's a positive there, and something we'll be exploring very soon. Take another drink here and finish this coffee. Yeah. After this, I'm gonna go get some sleep. I owe it to myself. I've been getting up every day. I've been sleeping very little. Sean McLaughlin. I'm surprised I do not hear more about Tenacity pre and post emergence. Scotts has it now mixed with their starter fertilizer. Used it when I reseeded my lawn and it worked amazingly. I talk about it all the time. You know, it's an option I provide for you. Now, it's not something that I'm willing to do because I'm not willing to take on that extra step of complication, but it is something you can do if you want, right? So I just wanted to clarify that. It's not that I don't want to mention it or that I don't care for it, but it's just not something I'm willing to do in my lawn, right? I'd much rather, you know, pre-emerge it in the spring and then keep it simple, aerate and overseed in the fall. Make sense? Firma Boy. Hi, Jake. Hit 70-degree mark today in Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's awesome, bro, man. Season is coming. Also, I have Tenacity as a liquid and kills bent grass and other grassy weeds. It's great, man. I'll have to, like I said, I gotta experiment with it. Haven't used it. Haven't used Tenacity on my lawn yet. Mike R. When it gets warm, you should do a. I'm definitely going to be busier because I'm gonna have school and I'm gonna have the lawn business going into spring. But then once we go into summer, that's where I have all the free time in the world. So we'll definitely be able to do that. But I do want to keep doing them a little bit earlier because I want people to, I want to do it when people are up and awake and chilling out. So if I can, I think what I'll do is I'll probably end up switching the time a little bit later to compensate for the time change so that we can all sit down and enjoy as the sun sets, right? So I'm not going to do that anytime soon, but that might be something to consider. But yeah, Midnight Edition sounds cool. We'll have to do that. Maybe when I get Alan out here during the summer for another one of our applications on the Project Lawn, I'll have to make him stay out till midnight. That'll probably make him do it. Eric Von Well, it's cold and wet down here in New Orleans. I am ready for spring. Me too, man. Me too. I'm really excited. What do we got? I said I watch. Oh, you said you watched Gary Vaynerchuk, and what were the two others? How to Beast and Casey Neistat. Love those guys. And that's just only a few of them. A's Lawn and Landscaping, wondering where everyone is tonight. Well, it is early, especially after the time change. It's not even dark yet. A lot of people are still chilling. What do we got here? I gotta go, Jake. Thanks for your tips and another great live stream. Look forward to a video on lawn edging if you find the time to slow it down and explain the process. Okay, man. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate your dedication to the stream, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Gino Mordaco, what are your thoughts on 2% for a pre-emergent? Well, I answer this question a lot, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it again. I believe it's a good option if you plan to do some spring seeding. Now, spring seeding isn't really something I recommend. You do have to put a lot more work into it to keep that seed alive, especially during the summer heat stress. You need to make sure that you're watering it a lot so that it doesn't dry out in the summer and diminish your results. So, to answer your question though, if you do run into a situation where you do have to do seeding in the spring, 2% is a great product as it will allow you to seed in conjunction with a crabgrass pre-emergent application that comes from the 2%. So, good benefit there, not something I'm going to be doing anytime soon though. But it is a good alternative. Chad S. How tall do you usually mow? What are your thoughts on fine fescue? For my lawn, I have Kentucky bluegrass, and because that's more of a rhizomatous grass type, it grows more out than it does up, so I like to mow it a little bit lower at about 3.5 inches during its prime time, which is going to be the spring, summer, fall era. And what are my thoughts on fine fescue? I don't know. I've never had it, and I've never seen it. Sean McLaughlin, I just wanted to mention Tenacity because it works as a pre-emergent and you can seed at the same time, while the others you cannot. Yes, that is true. I mentioned that, and I recommend that to a lot of people who want to do spring seeding, but me, in my case, I'm not looking to do spring seeding, so I'm not going to use it. Make sense? Gina Mordaco, thanks, Sean. Jonathan Green products make a pre-emergent with 2%, and they say you can seed with it. Yes, they can. Sean Mitchell, thanks. You can give me your email again. Yes. Sullivan Jacob. Here, I'll just put it in the chat. You go ahead. All right. It's out there. So Shane, if you want to email me, I put my email at the bottom of the chat. Are you guys doing a meet and greet when Alan comes up? If so, how we get into it? I don't have any details on that, but when I do, I will provide you with them. I should have those in the next week. I'm not even sure if we're having one. I haven't heard back from Alan yet, but if we do, I will provide the details next week. All right. You're the best. Thanks, bro. You're welcome, Shane. I'm glad I could help. All right, hold on. Let me make sure. Yep, still burning. I'm just letting it go out. Like I said, not too cold this week. Don't really need a full-on fire, but that's how we do it. All right. Anything else? I like to keep going because I'm like on fire right now. Oh, here we go. Hey Jake, I will be emailing you as well because I have some custom music that you can use on your videos if that's cool. Yeah, man, totally. Email me. I want that. That's awesome, dude. See, this is what I love right here. I love when people email me this kind of stuff. They have their own music. They have whatever it is that they like to do, and they just go at it and do it. So yeah, man, send me those links. I'd really like to check them out. What backpack lore do you have? Echo PV 250. 500. Echo PV 500. Must be all the caffeine. Darren Kirshner, 77 here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man, that's great. Full on throws of spring coming here. Sean McLaughlin, would you type in the last two people you watch on YouTube? They're not coming up on search. Oh. Yes, Sean, I'd be more than happy to. There you go. All right. Can you use Humic 12 all season long, even through the heat, and how often? Yes, you can. And to answer the second part of that question, every 2 to 3 weeks is a great time to apply that product. It's only going to help, and it's only going to make things that much more better, right? The more humic you put on your lawn, the more nutrients are going to be loosened up and brought into the plant, and because of that, you won't have to output that much nitrogen because you're getting more out of lower rates. All right. Hey Ken, can you? Yeah, Ken, hit my buddy up, Aiden too. I will give you different styles as well. Really, it's awesome. What a guy, man. Send me those tracks. I'd like to listen to them. Eric Von Wendell, maybe you can borrow music from Graston. It's funny. Yeah, man, his music is always dope. A's Lawn and Landscaping, what is the best way? Oh, yeah, he's talking to Ken. Gino Mordaco. Jake, do you think a split app of 2% at 55 degrees soil temperatures and then another one of prodiamine at 70 would be okay for spring seeding? I think that would be totally fine. Now keep in mind, when it comes to using pre-emergents like prodiamine or dithiopyr, you're going to want to apply 5 weeks after germination. Now, keep in mind, that's 5 weeks after the seed comes out of the ground. So that's not 5 weeks after the day you seeded, but 5 weeks after you notice germination, right? At that point, you're good to go with the prodiamine. Now, if that's a little rotation that you want to do, by all means, do it. Right? It's not going to hurt anything. But once again, make sure that you stay within that 5 to 6 weeks after the seed is germinated and has established that you don't hurt anything. All right. Go ahead and show that for. Okay. Ken Harbinson. Oh, Aislinn, what's your email? I'll be sure to use that on my channel too. Who's your grass dad? That's funny. Gino Mordaco. Got it. Appreciate it. Glad I could help. Rashid, do you recommend light raking now in our area? Thought it might get the lawn some air and sun. In fact, yes, that's a great idea, because the idea being, as I've talked about in a video, a couple videos back, it's a good idea to get out on the warm days and do a little bit of light raking to stand the grass up, because remember, airflow is key, right? We want to make sure we're getting as much airflow in and out of the soil as possible so that we don't have to deal with any fungal problems such as snow mold that result from lack of airflow. So when in doubt, make sure that you stand the grass up. Again, we're not raking too heavy, we're not trying to remove anything. Just rake lightly, stand the grass up, because remember, airflow is key. Airflow is key. Trademark, JTLK 2019. All right. In fact, a little backstory on that, Rashid. I actually got out last night, did a little bit of blowing on my lawn, got some leaves up, stood the grass up by a little bit of light raking, especially in the areas that were a little matted from some foot traffic that took place. I'll be showing that to you a little later. But I did rake those areas to compensate for that, and looks like we're going to have a challenge there this year too. Got a lot of compensation I got to think about this year, especially for all the issues I got to deal with now that I got more traffic in my driveway, because, you know, once you have somebody move into your house, right, you have more people, more vehicles, more traffic on certain areas of the lawn. It's just not always good. So it's something I got to consider and something I got to compensate for. All right. I sense a new JTLK t-shirt with the phrase Mike Art. Yes, man. Airflow is key, man. I plan on making that soon. Pulled up a little dead grass, light sticks, and old leaves. Yeah, man. As long as they're not pulling up all the thatch, that's a good idea. Because I actually have a liquid solution for that. That's going to be the liquid dethatch from the Greene County folks. Are going to be using that this year as a way to, liquidly get rid of the thatch. Thanks, Jake. Man, there's 41 peeps now. Yeah, man. That's what happens when you're honest. Just gotta be real. JTLK, double dark, baby. Alright, hold on one second. I'll be right back. It's like it's starting to get dark. Man, it's that beautiful sunset. I wish I could show it to you. Alright. Sorry about that. Had to take a little break. Another intermission, man. That's right. That's what happens when you drink liquids. Looking forward to JTLK merch. Yes, it's coming soon. I promise you. I don't have a specific date or anything like that, but I do plan to get it out sometime this year. Any minute your sis is going to come in bored. Yeah, she was just down here. I'm sure she'll come down again. Hence the reason I got this whole area ready for. I'll be the first one to buy. Yeah, man, I'll hook you up. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Well, we got quite a bit of people in here, so if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Don't hesitate. I'm more than happy to answer them. Man, I started off this live show tired, but after a cup of coffee, I'm like, I'm awake, man. I'm just all over the place. Almost reminds me of John Perry, because I was talking to John Perry while I was at the Law-Oncology conference, and I was asking him, dude, like, because John Perry had to give like 7 presentations while he was there in the last 2 days. I'm like, how did you do it, man? You were basically up there talking for 3 hours. I mean, I know you're passionate about it and all that, but you got to admit, talking for hours must really get tiring. And he just tells me, man, like, I have at least two to 3 cups of coffee a day to keep me going. And yeah, man, he's just, I look up to that guy as far as presenting goes. He really knows how to wing it and knock it out of the park. And he really knows his stuff too. Would you put a pink flamingo in your yard? Of course I would. I'm just not going to pay the money for one. I'm not going to go out of my way to get one either. So if anybody wants to send me a pink flamingo, I'd be more than happy to sport it out in my nice thick green lawn. Alright. Ken Harbison. Hey Jake, when is it too late to put down pre-emergent, and do you spot spray or blanket spray weeds? So once you get past that 55-degree mark and you notice crabgrass starting to germinate, then you know you're kind of late. In fact, when you put down that application of crabgrass preventer, you want to put it down just before those temperatures reach 55. I know I said 55, but just before that to ensure that nothing germinates and you don't have any escapees. Now, that's not saying that you're going to live in a perfect world and have no escapees. You're definitely going to have a few, but it's a great way to reduce the chances of that happening by very little, so you don't have to kill as much post-emergently later on. Now, as far as post-emergence control, I do spot spray and I do use my typical 3-way over-the-counter weed control that you can get at Home Depot that contains active ingredient 2,4-D-dicamba and conchloric. And I'm actually going to be doing videos about weed spraying too coming up here, so stay tuned for all the basics coming. God, I am hopped up after that caffeine, that coffee. Really woke me up. So I'm like ready to go now. All right, Menards has them cheap. Yes, they do. Canelo 1, are you going to do the next products this year? A biostimulant package from Alan just left Miami and is on the way by air to Norway. Probably the first from my are trying it out. Can't wait to try it. Yeah, dude, you're gonna love it. Gives you great results. A's Lawn and Landscaping. I get you one. I've got the Black Zombie says stick it rich. That's funny. Eric Vaughn window. Oops, audio and video is off a bit. Everything okay? Everything okay with the video? Let me know. Adam Miller, Jake, are you going to join in the mowing low phenomenon like Ryan, Connor, and Tim? Not sure. I mean, I do have some projects coming up that I might be able to mess around with a little bit, but as far as investing the extra time, I don't feel like I could commit in the long term because I'm too busy. Like, I understand it's new opportunity, it's more content, but the fact that I have to maintain my lawn basically every day, right? I have to be out there every day to make sure everything goes good. It's just not it's just not a good investment of my time, especially when I'm trying to grow a company. In addition to the videos and the live streams that I'm doing here, so it's just as of right now with the resources I have, it's just not a good use of my time. Maybe in the future though. That's not, like I said, that's not saying that I'll never do it, but I'm just not looking to do that right now. I'm a traditional man. I like to cut my grass at 2.5, 3 inches. You hear me preach it all the time. Ken Harbison. Also, when do you put down a pre-emergent? In Louisville, I'm thinking maybe in August, or is that just too late since I want to overseed in September? Post-emergent, I just put that down when I see weeds. When I see weeds, I spot spray them, and then they're dead, zorched. Mitchell Ryan. Mitchell Ryan, have you ever considered moving just so you can grow a different grass? Well, that's not really up to me, especially since I'm still a junior in high school. But maybe in the future, that'd be some fun content. Um, Jake, have you heard of Super Juice? If so, any thoughts? Yeah, I believe Doc, How to with Doc, that's his product, and I don't really have any thoughts because I've never used it. I can't judge a book by its cover. That's just not my personality. Max Lawn just subbed your channel. That's awesome. Everything sounds and looks okay from the UK. All right, thanks, Mac. I appreciate your feedback. Eric Von Whittle. I think the delay is on your side, Jake. There are 2-second delay. Yeah, I gotcha. Jake's Lawn and Garden Care. Where do you get your music from, your videos? YouTube Audio Library. Donald A. Alright, you said questions. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and 90% of my front yard is Bermuda grass and my backyard is 90% weeds. I was told by Home Depot guy pre-emergent is now too late. True, false? Well, if the weeds have already emerged in your back lawn, of course you're going to be too late. Now, if you live in an area like Oklahoma, Tulsa, I believe that's south. I don't geographically know. It's been a while. Let me look it up here. I believe that's further south, so you might deal with a lot of the southern weather, which is basically it's basically warm all year round for you guys, especially if you're below the frost line. So you might deal with some earlier emergence. Now, as far as the weeds you're dealing with, I don't know what to do for them unless you can identify them for me. If you can do that, I'd be more than happy to help you put together a strategy on how to get rid of those. Real quick, let me look this up. Like I said, I don't know where that's at. Alright. Taking forever to load. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Arkansas River. Just a sec. I'm looking at something for, there we go. God, the internet's so slow. Well, it looks like the sun's going down now. Stay on until 7 o'clock. Maybe a little later. Friday nights are all about. Come on, man. Alright, anyway. If you could just tell me in the chat if it's further south or north or central, that might be able to help me a little bit better. 'Cause it's not coming up here. Max Free Music Library. Yeah, man. Great music selection there, and you don't get in trouble for using anything. Let's see what we got here. Chedas, what chem do you use for spot spraying weeds? Like I said, I just use the typical 3-way over-the-counter product from Home Depot or any big box store, really. 2,4-D, conchloric, dicamba, 3 active ingredients. It's the transition zone, so yeah. In the transition zone, you do get the best of both worlds, so you might have some early emergence, and I'm not really sure what you can do about them right now as far as pre-emergent goes, because that's just not my neck of the woods. But a good thing to do would be to at least send me some pictures, maybe, and then tell me any of the weeds that you know, so then maybe we can put together a plan for those weeds, and then maybe the weeds you don't know, you can send me an email, and I can help you identify them. And even if I can't identify them, I know people who can. So if you'd like to, I'd appreciate you emailing me and we can work something out. What's your name? Let me check it out. Donald A. You can email me, sullivanjacob68@gmail.com. Let me repeat that. sullivanjacob68@gmail.com. If you purple clover, barnyard, crabgrass, foxtail, Dallas weed. So a great. So I know 2 out of the 4 on that list, crabgrass and foxtail. Those are going to be your grassy weeds. And the best bet for post-emergently controlling them would be to use a product like Conclorac. So they actually make Conclorac in higher concentrations that you can get for lower prices at domyown.com. In fact, if you would like, I will leave you a link here in the chat to where you can pick up some Conclorac here. And keep in mind it is in higher concentrations, so you want to be a little careful with this. And this is mostly for the grassy weeds, such as the crabgrass and the foxtail. But as far as the barnyard grass and the whatever else we got here, let's see. Purple clover, I'll have to do a little bit more diagnosis, and then we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I'll link. In the meantime, I'll link it to the Conclorac to help control the crabgrass. I love it, man. I haven't had to touch that fire one time. God, this internet is slow, dude. God. 75 DF. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and link you to Conclorac. Let me just make sure that this is right. Sorry for the delay. The internet's just been slow, man. Slow. All right, here it is. Go ahead and paste that. Alright, so what's your name again? Donald 8. If you'd like, I left a link in the chat here for Conclorac 75DF. That'll definitely help you out with the crabgrass, and it'll definitely help you out with the crabgrass and the foxtail. But yeah, for further diagnosis, email me at sullivanjacob@gmail.com, and we can work something out. Like I said, if I can't help you, I know people that can, because of the you know, the sense of community we have here. So we'll be able to help you out. Donald A, I should mention there's a few others, but I don't know what they are. Yeah, just send me pictures, see what we can do. And also, when you're sending me pictures, keep this in mind, because a lot of people make the mistakes of not taking clear enough pictures, and that really makes identification harder. So if you can, make sure you take a few pictures close up and farther away so I can get a clear picture of what the leaf looks like and what it looks like as it takes over your lawn. So I'd like to see that, and then we can put something together. Alright. Let's see here. Kurt Weatherby. Hello, Jake. You're really helpful with my lawn. Thanks, buddy. You're welcome, Kurt. Glad I could help you. A's Lawn and Landscaping. The hardest part about YouTube is you have to listen to a bunch of stuff to find what you like. Well, yeah, that's how it is, Aiden. That's how it wasn't for me in the beginning. But then once I found out what my niche songs were, kind of like, hip-hop interludes, then I know what to look for, and it makes it easier. In fact, a way to kill the time, like when I'm doing homework, I actually like to listen to these tracks so I can figure out what track I want to use in my video. Alright, where was I here? Alright, let's see. Make sure I get caught up in the... Throwing down a beer and a cigar. It's cool, man. You excited about 20K soon? Yeah, but 20K, in my opinion, that's nothing. Because, think about it. I'm helping 20,000 people, but like Alan says himself, there's 90 million homes in the United States alone. So that's like, so I'm like a very small fish in the gigantic, never-ending ocean, right? So I really am trying to go at it hard this year. I actually have a goal I want to reach this year. I'm predicting that if I keep up with the content consistently and very frequently, I guarantee this channel can surpass 50,000 by the end of of 20 by the end of this year, and then by the end of 2020, I'm hoping well over 100,000. So those are my goals here for the channel. Plus, I am trying to make a full-time living here, which can be a couple years down the road, but if I just keep working hard and doing what I love, it can happen. Will you and Alan do another walk the lawns thing around your neighborhood? That was fun seeing the lawn issues. Yeah, we might do something like that. We'll make some time. Plus, one thing I want to do is I actually want to get them on the show here, so I think that'll be fun. We'll have to see what we can do. God, they're so inconsiderate. All they do is scream up there. You need a coffee sponsor. Yeah, man, I do. Azon and Landscaping. Do all your new subs comment each get a notification on your phone? Yeah, but to be honest, for the sake of my time management, because I do get sucked into social media pretty easy, I turn all my notifications off during the week so that I can focus on getting stuff done, like my homework and, you know, any business stuff I got to take care of, as well as, you know, video making, research, all that stuff. I try to turn the comment notifications off so that I can focus on that stuff and I'm not getting distracted, because that is a problem I have, as, you know, in this day and age where we have cell phones and whatnot, it's very easy to get distracted, and I'm constantly fighting that battle. So I'm looking for ways to reduce that. Donald A. Today I put down 2 different ortho products and I'm hoping for the best. Also, please put your email address down here again. If they're mad, tell them to deal with it. Yeah, alright, hold on. I'll put my email at the bottom of the chat, Donald A., so that you can email me. Alright. Alright, Donald A., I put my email at the bottom of the chat if you want to check it out. Shane Mitchell, I hear that hit 64 or so in NJ Beer Barbecue. Yeah, man. Beautiful frickin' weather we're having lately. I'm really looking forward to spring. We're literally about a week away. And then we get off school for a week. I can't wait for that, man. Just tons of time to do what I need to do. I need to get up and running for my business. I got to get my marketing in order. Because judging by the weather here, I plan to start in early to mid-April as far as mowing. So I need to get all my, you know, make sure my existing customers are good, see if I can pick up a few new ones, and I'm trying to increase route density. So that's the goal this year with the business. Alright, let's see what we got here. Can't use conchloric on St. Augustine. Yeah, that's true. That's one thing I need to do, is I need to get a little bit better with reading labels, because for those of you who have St. Augustine, I know it's kind of hard for you guys. I'm not really sure what you can use, though, for crab. I'll have to get back to you, Stick It Rich. Pot music, Donald, it's never too late for pre-emergent. Crabgrass only starts germinating but continues to summer. Yes, that's very true. But like I said, to ensure that you get the best coverage, make sure you get it down as the temperatures are approaching that 55. So once temperatures get into the 50s range and they stay there, it's a great time to put it down. Stick It Rich, already seeing some crabgrass in Southwest Florida. Need to hit it with Asulax. Yeah, man, you get that done. Make sure that crabgrass doesn't get bad. Full name is Donald G. Adkins Jr. I think you mentioned your first name, first and last, and then you toss some numbers in there as well. Yes, that's exactly what I did. A's Lawn and Landscaping. Hey, look at Alan. He made it to the full-time thing. Yeah, man, I look up to that guy, man. He's the one who inspired me to get started from the jump. And then from there, I just kind of grew off of that. And then now I have all these other influencers in my life. Like I got my dad, I got people I watch like Gary Vaynerchuk and How to Be, Casey Neistat, all those guys. I love the hustle, I love the game, and that's really why I'm winning here, is because I love the fact that I could just, you know, do something I love. And I have the ability to do that now. Alright, let's see what we got here. Stick It Rich. Alright, I already read that. Shane Mitchell. It's back in the chat text. Alright, awesome, bro. Donald A., we have 40 degrees to 62 degrees. Are you talking air temps or soil temperatures, Donald? A's Lawn and Landscaping, same here. I may do the same. I guess you're allowed to be on your phone sometimes at school. I know my comments have been loved during the middle of the day. Yeah, man. Well, I do get some time here and there to go on my phone, especially my school's very lenient with that. So when we're done teaching, we have like 15, 20 minutes or so to go on our phones, do whatever, do homework. So it's nice. Crabgrass and St. Aug grass, round up or dig it up. Not sure if that's the best strategy, but if it works for you, that's fine. But I really wouldn't rip it out. I would figure out something. I'll have to get back to you with a herbicide for St. Augustine. The best strategy, really though, that I know for crabgrass and St. Augustine would be to prevent it using pre-emergents such as prodiamine or Pennant Magnum. Pennant Magnum is like the best option for St. Augustine lawns, from what I hear. Ken Harbinson. Jake, are you coming back down to the GIE this year? This year I will attend and hope to meet you and everyone else. Yes, I will be there. In fact, for those of you who don't know, fourth year of GIE this year, it's really becoming a tradition. It's something that I'm going to make a priority to go to every year, especially since I've been going every year for the last 3 years, so I might as well keep going all the way till the end. Because I love going to those things. I'm definitely going to be in attendance every year if I can help it. Stick It Rich. There's nothing currently labeled for crabgrass in St. Augustine since Osceolax was label changed. Still can get it though. Not really sure on that one. Back to you. A's Lawn and Landscaping. I think a lot of us look up to Alan, including me. Just so you know, I look up to you too, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, Alan's a great guy, down to earth, and I really admire that about him. With the reach he has, he's just down to earth, humble guy. You know, I love people like that. Donald A. Soil temps according to the internet. Then after the 62, we went back down into the 40s. Not sure exactly what it is right now. Well, like I talked about, once the temperatures hit that 50-degree range and they stay there, and you notice the fluctuation is very small, then that's a great time to get down your crabgrass pre-emergent. Inspiration is my middle name. Where can you get tickets for GIE? I'm sure if you go to the... I'm not really sure. I believe you go to gieexpo.com, and then from there you can register your name and all that, and then they'll send you, updates of what's going on with the show, and then you can possibly get tickets there. But just go to the website, gieexpo.com, and you'll get further detail. Sprinkler install talk underground. I can't really give you a lot of talk on that. I've never had any experience with it, so I can't help you there. Eric Von Whittle. I use Scott's Holtz. It seems to work to prevent crabgrass. Yeah, man, that's a great one to use for cool season lawns that I know of. But yeah, for warm season grass, not sure. I'll have to check the label. I recommend you do too. Just read the label and see what grasses it's good on. Thanks, Jake. Going on almost 2 hours. Got to go. Bye. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate your dedication. D&D, DMB, that's an odd name. Jake, what do you think of covering a newly seeded lawn with the special airflow tarps like golf courses use? I want to push an early start using KBG and rye. Well, I'm not really sure, but I don't think that's something you want to do. I mean, sunlight is required for grass to grow because you got to remember, sunlight promotes photosynthesis in the lawn, which is basically how the lawn makes its own food. So you need sunlight and water to grow grass, as far as I know. If you're trying to grow a traditional lawn like I am and like most people, and you're gonna mow it at about 2.5, 3 inches, then I don't recommend that. But if that's something you want to try, I mean, by all means, go ahead and try it. If you've heard from some professionals, but not something I would try. It's not a risk I'd take. You need sunlight for that seed to grow. What next products are you using to get iron? Well, there's quite a few of them. There's the fertility products like Green Punch, and then you also have, I believe, Florigreen, Microgreen, Green Start, Green Effect. You have to check the fertility products. Microgreen, I believe. I just said that. But it's mostly in the fertility products that you can use as standalones, like the Microgreen the Green Punch, the Green Start, the Green Effect, all of those products there. Not so much the specialty products. Alan is always rocking the cool shades. He has Costas. After I saw him with those, I invested in a good pair of them too. You ever heard of them? Yeah, man, that's all he talks about when we come up here. It's how cool his glasses are and how they hide his dog, the bounty hunter eyes. That's all he talks about. Jake, have you been able to get your hands on Carbon X? I see it sold out on LCN Store. No, I haven't, but very soon. Stay tuned. Alright, hold on just a second here. Man, it's beautiful out there. Let me go grab something. Just grab a jacket. I'm a little chilly out here. That log is still burning. You know what? We're gonna put a little. Probably not a good idea, but it'll work. Does he put his prescription in them or something? I'm not sure, Ace. He's got like 6 pairs. You need to make JTLK stickers. I need one. Yeah, man. I want to. Hang on. Let me get some white down here. It's better. Since it is getting a little dark, might as well. What else? Eric Von Wendell. I want one. Yeah, we'll get him soon. First sticker. Who's your lawn daddy? That's funny. Canelo 1, your parents must be proud of you starting your own business at such an early age. It's getting late in Norway. It's time to hit the sack. Again, cross-country skiing with the kids tomorrow. Thank you, Canelo. I appreciate you for tuning in, and thank you so much for the compliment, man. I appreciate it. It's what I live for, bro. It means a lot. Okay. Well, it is getting a little bit late. If you guys want to stick around a little bit, because I see we got quite a crowd still in here, we can stick around for a little bit. Because of the time change, the daylight time's a little longer, so I figure we might as well go until it's dark. Alright. Fire's awfully low tonight, I know. I'm not really worried about it right now, though. Alright. Hold on. What's up, Jake? Love your videos. Thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate it. How much longer do you think we're going here? I'm going to shoot for another half hour or so, and then maybe I'll cut it off. But we'll just see where the chat goes, because this is open format. In fact, I took the 6 o'clock time out of there, so this could go, as long as I want. Let me get some sparks going here. There we go. I shouldn't. It's ridiculous. I'm wearing a jacket down here when it's this freaking. When I have this fire here. Come on, bro. Oh, is that what I want? Let's fix the fire up a little bit. Let's get it warmer down here. It shouldn't be this cold with the fire, man. let's get another log on here. These logs are wet. Get another log on here. Chat's still going. What? God, what's happening? Well, looks like it's catching on. Alright, hold on. Hang on. What do we got here? Oh yeah. If you don't hit the sack after the stream, still text me. I will. Castleberry just sent me a video notice. I might have to take a look. Alright, you do that. Jake or anyone on here, has anyone used Doc's Super Juice? No, I haven't, but Connor did a little parody on it a little while back. You might want to check that out. Very cool. Alright, let's go see here. Looks like we got some mathematical stuff coming in here. Where am I? Never used it before. What's in it? Hey, Jake, what do you think of the results of the dethatch spray? I did some manual in my St. Aug using a rake, but I'm thinking of trying a liquid. I think it's great, but the only thing you have to keep in mind is because of the digestive agents that are in the dethatch, it's very important that you apply them during hot periods because they rely on heat in order to operate, because heat will stimulate microbial activity, which will help the product work faster. So make sure that when you put it down, you want to put it down at a little warmer time. So a good way to do it is to put down on your first application maybe some aerate in conjunction with some green start, and then 4 to 5 weeks later when the temperatures start to come up, depending on where you live, a great thing to do would be to add in the dethatch to ensure that you get full efficacy out of the product. God, man, that fire is bad. I'm terrible at building fires. Alright, it needs to be warm. When you use dethatch, the microbes need to be active. Yes, that is very correct. If you need a moderator, Jake, I can help you out every other Friday. Yeah, man, we'll have to work something out. KBS Small Engine Repair Parts and Service. What's up, bro? Jacob Hall, what is better, dethatching or aeration? Listen, not one is not better than the other, because regardless, both are required in your lawn care program, right? You need dethatching to remove that dead material so that you have the room to make sure that you don't have any blockage with airflow or any problems like that. Because yeah, people say aeration manages thatch. Well, that's wrong, right? You want to make sure that you're removing that so that the soil continues to get as much airflow as possible for the best results possible in your lawn. So you need both of them in your lawn care program no matter what. 14. Oh yeah, that's Doc's Super Juice. Michael Kilbert, any tips on how to get started as a kid? Do you mean with lawn business or YouTube? Hang on, let me fix this. This is terrible. this wood is so freaking wet. Just went out. Man, I'm not feeling this right now. No, it's not working. This is not what should be it. Be right back. There we go. Now we got something to work with. Well, the wood's wet, so there's not really much I can do about that. Man, that's frustrating. That fire, listen, man. Ugh, it's just, come on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, this isn't working now. It ain't getting any better. What do we got? What did I miss, man? Wood's too wet. I want to apologize for being an idiot and not thanking you earlier for replying to my questions. So belated thank you. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Sorry about that, by the way. I'm not good at building fires, if you can't tell. I'm terrible at it. Pop music, stack the logs like a TP shape for good airflow. That's smart. You know what? I'm going to try that right now because this isn't working. There we go. Now we're getting something. Look at that. Look at that. Start to come back. That's good. I should know this. Airflow is key. It's going out. Well, I'm not going to mess with it anymore because I just can't get it to go. I think a couple more minutes here and then I'm going to. Oh, it looks a little better now. Oh, hold on. Good video when it's a little bit warmer out. Nice video. Nice good info for when it gets a little warmer out. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Kit to rub. I could see no lawn. Good, but fireplaces, he might need a little help. Yeah, man, I do. I need a lot of help with it. I'm bad. I'll admit it. I'm terrible at it. Look at it. It keeps going out. Ah, aggravates the crap out of me. anyone thinking about seeding this spring? Lots of bare spots with the rain last season. Well, when it comes to spring seeding, I would definitely do it in the bare spots if you can help it, because there are products like Tenacity that you can use, aka Metzotrione, and the Scott's products that allow you to get some control on the crabgrass by preventing it, but in conjunction allowing you to seed. Hold on, I'm gonna try what somebody said. I'm gonna try and TP this right now, because this is not working out. The problem is I have too many logs on here, and they're all still freaking wet. I need to think about this like a lawn. I should know this. I'm overthinking it. I'm overcomplicating it. I just need airflow. That's all I need here. God, this word's so